What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at yet another pair of exclusive Kvegas. This is the Kvegas Jalen Brunson PE. Before we get into these, I want to remind you this video and all the other content on my channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only. If this is your first time here, go ahead and like and subscribe for me. Really appreciate that. It is so helpful. You can then be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at kvegaskickz. Guys, I appreciate your support. Let's take a look at these Kvegas. So this is, again, another player exclusive, originally worn by Jalen Brunson. This is a world killer batch of the shoe. Let me show you where I picked these up from, guys. Great seller and really good one to follow on Instagram. Constantly puts out player exclusives that you just can't get anywhere else. This is one beautiful example of them. This pair, I'm telling you, the video is not doing justice to how good these things look in person. But be sure to check out his page. Mention Kvegas. I know he'll take care of you. Let's dive in. So on this one, you got your typical Kvegas outsole. It is the solid rubber compound. It's in kind of a light pinkish purple. Looks good. You do have your real carbon fiber. The World Killer batch normally has a little bit more raised traction pattern around your Shizuku, which is in white. Everything looks good. Now, I will say I've already had these out on the court to test them out. They didn't squeak on the court, which I was kind of surprised because most of my World Killers do. So I'm just wondering if they just need to break in a little bit. But they had excellent traction, so don't worry about that. I've mentioned multiple times on my channel that squeak is just an audible thing. It does not mean a shoe does or does not have good traction. Some of my S2s, for example, don't squeak at all even after break-in, and traction is phenomenal, so don't worry about that. But anyway, that solid rubber outsole wraps up onto your midsole. The cushion looks good. Again, I've had them on foot, so you see these compressions. That's why. You got your Nike Zoom back here. The outsole, midsole are both matted out. Going around to the medial side, this pair looks to be pretty clean as far as the glue job on there. Toe cap area, pretty nice. Maybe a spot or two here or there, nothing too significant. Of course, you got your phenomenon. All that is great. Now, fit and comfort of the World Killer batch, guys, I like to describe it as a comfortably snug one-to-one fit. I don't have any quote-unquote extra room in the World Killer, but it's not too snug either. It fits me slightly more snug than an S2 or a GK Kvegas, but better than a GX. I don't like the GX in a size 13. It's up on my toe. This one, again, it's a comfortably snug one-to-one fit. So I would tell you to go with your normal Kvegas size, unless you're wide footer, then you might want to go up half a size. Now, being a World Killer batch, as far as the cushion, not only are you going to get the Zoom turbo unit in the forefoot, just like retail would, but you also get a Zoom unit in the heel. So the setup is going to look just like this. This is actually a piece from a broken down Kvegas reverse Grinch World Killer. So you can see that Zoom turbo and then Zoom in the forefoot. So if you like double Zoom, the World Killer batch is a great option for you. Now, the upper of the shoe, of course, you got your micro mesh covered with the polyurethane scales that have a nice pearlescent finish to it. Of course, you can see the purple gradient starting in a light, almost like a lilac, going to the darker purple. Beautiful fade on that. The purple laces over top of the torch tongue, and then up at the top you got this memory foam with a white Shizuku that is pressed in very nicely, not just stuck on. They did a good job with that, and they did a great job with the shape of the tongue. Got a pretty nice little spiral right there, which is really good. That's how the Kvegas tongue should look, a little bit more of a curve to it. Of course, you can see the gingham print on the back of the tongue and your sock liner, same thing that you see here underneath the heel counter. And then you got that mold to your foot insole down there just in blue. I did remove that from the other shoe, so we'll see in a moment. You got your white swoosh, kind of glossed out. Doesn't really have overspray effect. Not really an issue, but it doesn't on the World Killer. And then in the back here, you got some synthetic leather, again in that purple and white gingham print. Underneath the kind of light purple, pinkish, whatever color you want to call it, heel counter with the darker Kvegas signature in darker purple. Back of the shoe, the shape is what you would expect from a World Killer batch, slightly wider and then tapered up, but looks pretty good, honestly. I think they got the shape really nice on this pair, and I'm telling you, it is just beautiful in person. Had to pick up a pair of these for myself and my daughter. Yeah, they're awesome. Medial side looks good as well. The scale lining is something I didn't really mention over here because honestly, with this colorway, it is extremely hard to see. I think you can kind of tell it from that angle right there, but the scale lining height is, I think, appropriate, not too high or low. So my fault on that. Forgot to mention that earlier. So let's bring in the left one and check it out. But there's no differences left or right as far as the design of the shoe. Elements of the shoe are the same. Check them out from the rear. Again, just beautiful. Such an eye-catching pair. Again, seems like the player exclusives are always the best ones. And I'm telling you, follow his page because he makes them pretty regularly, and a lot of times it's a limited amount. So when they're gone, they're gone. It's not something they just keep on producing a lot of times. So I know in the past there's actually been some colorways that I have missed out on because of that, and it's something that I would have loved to had in my rotation. So yeah, go ahead and follow that page, his Instagram, and that way you don't miss out. Tongue's looking good, as is the Shizuku. All right, there's your Phenomenon. And let's get this light on here and we will see the strobel and see if we can see the outline there of those zoom units. And I think, yeah, right away you can easily see that top loaded zoom in the heel, and then it's hard to get the light in there, but I think you can kind of tell the outline there too of where that zoom turbo unit is going to start. And then you do have the correct, like a promo size tag, which would be, you know, correct for a player exclusive. It wouldn't be like a retail tag in there since they didn't release retail. So not that that really matters, but it is nice when they try to get those little details correct, along with obviously the rest of the details of the shoe. So that's all good. They did come with just regular tissue paper, which is pretty standard for a Kobe. And then, like we said, we get the mold to your foot insole, just blue with a red Shizuku, and it is for the correct size if you can read that. Shoes, amazing. Let's set them aside and take a look at the packaging for this one. So you get the second generation Kobe Protro box. So you get the scale pattern all over the black box, the gloss signature and Shizuku on the top of the lid. Got a swoosh here, some branding on the bottom, another swoosh, and your box label is Kvegas PE promo. You got pink gradient and purple, men's 13. Inside, just some regular white tissue paper. There was a really nice Kobe keychain in here as well. Pretty cool, that has his jersey and everything on it. So that was a nice little gift. And the box, extremely well protected in shipping. I always appreciate that, so try to let you guys know when the sellers take those extra steps to make sure the shoes and the box come looking good to you. And the shoes, just incredible. Absolutely love this colorway. Such an eye-catching pair, and that we can finally get our hands on. So anyway, guys, that is my unboxing review of this Kvegas Jalen Brunson PE, the World Killer batch. I hope that you enjoyed the review and that it was helpful for you. Let me know what you think about this pair in the comments. Be sure to follow me on my other socials and be on the lookout because we got a lot more of these reviews coming your way.